Hi, this is Patrick Bryant from the Wet Shave Academy. This is a video of our luxury hot towel wet shave. So here I am, just wetting my fingers down with some hot water. We're going to rub that through the client's beard, really just starting to feel for any lumps, bumps, scar tissue, moles, anything that's going to cause us a problem during the shave. Anything you do feel, anything that's raised above the skin surface, it's always advisable to ask the client whether they give him any problems when he shaves himself. Now we're going to lather up the face with quite a wet lather. We're going to massage this into the beard. The reason we do this is because it replicates the guy just having a wash in the morning, hot soap and water. The hot water and the soap strip the beard bristles of the thick, oily, protective coating that they grow with. Stripping this oily, protective layer off allows the hot water to penetrate the hairs of the beard, and in doing so makes them softer and easier to shave. So we're massaging this into the beard just with a shampoo in action, really. This is quite a nice, relaxing start to the shave treatment, just a nice massage, really. And now comes one of my favourite parts, the steaming hot towel. How we men ever forgot how good it feels to be wrapped in a hot towel, I don't know. So we want to make sure this towel is wrapped nice and tightly around your client's face. This first hot towel is a functional one. So we want the steam, the heat, the water out of the towel and into the beard. This one I like to hold quite tightly onto the beard area just so we get the maximum benefit. Now, taking the towel off, we're going to re-lather the face, and we're going to spend a little bit more time working this lather into the beard. Working up a nice thick lather here. The properties of the lather are that it should act as a lubricant between the razor and the skin. If you don't work the lather all the way down through the beard to the skin, it tends to act as a lubricant between the razor and the beard. So it skips over the top and can be quite uncomfortable for the client. It's very worthwhile if you've got clients with several days growth, making sure you work it thoroughly down through the beard. Top lip I usually apply with my finger. I like to get a really good thick covering there. We're using the lather here not only to moisturise the bristles, but also to seal in the moisture that we've already put in there while we're doing the rest of the shave. So now we can pick up the razor and get on to the fun part. I do small overlapping strokes. If you try and do too long strokes, you'll find that the razor starts to tug on the hairs. Stretch the skin as tight as you can. If you notice, my thumb on my left hand there is really pulling the skin tight there, and then we're shaving away from the direction that we're applying the pressure. As you move down the cheek, always check the area that you've done to make sure it's as smooth as possible. A lot of barbers will do 2 complete shaves of the face. I prefer to do as clean a job as possible on the first pass, and then on the second pass you only need to touch up the areas that you haven't got quite as close as you could have. So on the first pass, I would probably go in 2 directions across the hair growth, going with the direction of growth and then across it as well. Then on the second pass, we can go in the opposite direction across the direction of shave, and that should give a plenty close enough shave without having to go against the direction of growth. Nice little backhand stroke coming up across the collar line here. Most guys have hair that grows upwards from here. So this is the best way to get those hairs without causing all that irritation that most guys have along the collar line, because most of them will get that smooth by shaving against the direction of growth anyway. So a nice tight anchor underneath the Adam's apple, and I'm only using roughly 1 centimetre of the blade there. If you try and use too much of it, the whole length of the blade even, you'll find that it tends to clog. The lesser the blade you use, the cleaner it's going to cut and the smoother it's going to be. So that's that side of the face done. We're going to move on to the other side now. By this time, the rest of the face is probably going to need to be re-lathered. The lather does dry out quite quickly. So you're probably going to need to re-lather 3 or 4 times on this first pass. If you don't re-lather, the beard can dry out and then you've lost the benefits of all the preparation work that we did. So working from the other side of the client now, you'll notice that my razor was closed there. One of my bugbears is barbers waving open razors about in front of their clients. If you're not using it, close it and put it down. There's nothing scarier for a client than being sat in a chair and having a barber wave an open razor around in front of their face. So here, because we're working on the other cheek and we've turned the client's head towards us, we're going to work directly across the direction of hair growth here. This is going to give us a smooth shave in one pass. You need to anchor the ear out of the way, and then you're going to work directly back across the face towards you. Anything we're doing around the ear, particularly the earlobe, you need to anchor it out of the way. You really don't want to nick an ear. Working down the cheek towards the chin line, what we need to do here, because it's a curvy area, so we're going to take a good firm pinch on the skin, lift the skin up, and that gives us a nice straight line to work down the neck. This doesn't hurt the client. If you think it might be, then ask him. Ask him if it's comfortable for him. But it really is the best way to give yourself a flat line to work on. Razors aren't going to work on any concave areas. So we're just going to come round now and do a little bit more of that backhand stroke underneath the chin. While we're in this area, we need to be very aware of the guy's Adam's apple. This is a very vulnerable area. You can't shave over this because it's a very bony, angular area. So you need to pull the skin down. This has the effect of pulling the skin off the Adam's apple, making it far easier for you to shave and far more comfortable for your client as well. So now we've done what probably most barbers would call the easier areas. Cheeks are nice and flat, the neck's nice and flat. So what we're going to do now is take a line straight across the jawline, which is going to separate the area around the mouth from the area underneath the chin on the throat. That's going to give us a clean area where we can get a good firm hold and stretch the neck up and shave out this area underneath the chin. So there we're going to get that nice little pinch again. First of all, we're just going to put the headrest down and get the client to pop his chin up. So that's going to make things a lot easier for us. Men have these wonderful flexible things called necks. So why not use it in the shave? We've got a nice stretch on the skin there, so I'm going to work a line straight down the middle of the area that we've left there. And then take out either side of it. Always working again in small little strokes, and again just using the first centimetre, half an inch or so of the razor. Always again checking as we go. We want to do as good a job on this first pass as we can so that we leave very little to do on the second pass. If we think we can go just a touch closer on this first pass, then we'll do it. So we're going to close the razor, put it down, sit the client back up a little bit, and now we're going to move on to the area that most barbers, I think, would admit the areas they would struggle with. We're going to put some more lather on now, just to keep the skin nice and lubricated and the beard bristles nice and moisturised. Sometimes when you look at a guy's chin, especially if it's a highly contoured one, you just think, wow, where do I start? Sometimes it can look very daunting if you just look at it as a whole. So my advice to you is to just stretch the skin until you can find even a square centimetre that is flat enough to shave. Shave that square, stretch the skin again until you find the next adjacent square that you can shave. Keep doing this. Sometimes you'll look down and be surprised at actually how much of the chin you've shaved in this way, 90% or more. And generally this is going to leave just the area underneath the bottom lip that will need dealing with. 2 or 3 ways you could do this area. One is to get the guy to pop his tongue into his bottom lip. This pops that area out nicely, and then you can shave across the lip and that area. Or my preferred method that I'm doing here is to actually shave back up towards the lip. This is, I know I've said we don't shave against the direction of the growth, but in this case, because of how tender the lip is, you can do it here. Coming in under the nose now onto the moustache area. Here I just like to wipe the remains of the lather off with some water so I can see what's going on there. Here we need to lift the nose up. Now I call this piggy nose. The guy's not going to want a photograph of it, but if you don't lift the nose, you can't get the razor in to get those annoying few hairs that always grow just underneath the nostrils. If you leave any hairs here underneath the nostrils or anywhere around the mouth, particularly in the corners, the guy's going to be very aware of them and feel them all day long. And every time he feels one, it's going to take away from his pleasure and enjoyment that he got from the shave with you. This is one of the only areas where I asked the guy to help me actually. Just asking him to open his mouth so I can get in there to get those really whiskery hairs that grow in the corner of the mouth. So moving now to the other side of the lip, we're going to come back towards ourselves now. The area just under the nose, the philtrum, can be a difficult area to stretch out to make it flat to shave because it tends to pop the top lip out, whereas if you pinch it, it tends to pop it out and then you can shave it quite comfortably. That's the first pass completed. Moving on to the second pass, what I use now is some shave oil. I like to use the shave oil for the second pass because the lather can be quite drying for the skin, so the oil starts to re-moisturize the skin, but it also, because you massage it into the face, you can feel any bristles that you've missed, and the oil also coats them, so they shine up in the light and you can actually see them, which makes it a lot easier to cut those last few hairs that you might have missed. So feeling all over the face, feeling for that rasp, just feeling for those areas where you can make the shave just a little bit better. Typically this is going to be in the corners of the jaw, underneath the chin, and funnily enough along the cheekbones as well is an area where we tend to miss a few hairs. Right, there's no point on this second pass in trying to shave in the direction that you've already shaved. If you've gone with the direction of growth or across it in one direction, you're not going to take any more hair off by going in the same direction. So you need to alter the direction that you're shaving in. If you've already shaved across the direction of growth from left to right, then this time on the second pass we're going to shave from right to left. This will take off just the tops of the hairs that are left and make things feel even smoother. This is the time when you can let your OCD have full reign, and really now you're just refining the shave that you've already done. Even if you've done a perfect shave on the first pass, I would always do something on the second pass. Psychologically, it makes the client feel that you are doing the absolute best job you can for him. There is something just so relaxing. I don't like the word pampering, but yes, let's use it, pampering about being shaved in this way and feeling that someone else is just taking that maximum care of you. Always feeling just to make sure you've got the last of that rasp. So when you think you've got it pretty much done, now we're going to use another hot towel. So this one is functional in that we're going to use it to clean off the shave debris, any cut hairs or lather that's left on the face. But it's also a nice relaxational one, this one. So always ask your client if it's too hot, if it's comfortable. Men will usually let you know if it's not. So for the relaxation, we're just going to leave this one on a little bit longer, let the guy gently steam underneath the towel. It is one of life's great pleasures, steaming gently under a towel in a barber shop. So I've put the razor down for the last time, unless I find any stray hairs that I've missed, but that doesn't mean that the quality of the shave has stopped getting as good as it's going to. We're going to do a close down sequence now, which is going to make the skin feel absolutely fantastic. The shave oil that we put on for the second pass has already started this process of re-moisturising the skin, softening the skin, making it feel great. From there we move on to the moisturiser. This moisturiser is going to start to nourish the skin. We don't want to work this too deeply into the area we shave, just want to put it on there. But now we also have an opportunity to really relax our client. So even if you've only got a minute, 30 seconds, we're going to do a little bit of massage, working along the jawline there, but really concentrating on the forehead. Working out across the forehead, working those little muscles between the eyebrows, the corrugator muscles there, the frown muscles. Work out across the eyebrows, coming back the other way, and working out over the temples as well. Often when you speak to guys about the shaves they've had in the past, as long as the shave was good, the things that really stand out in their memories are the extras you add in. So a little bit of massage can be the thing that separates a good shave from a great shave. We've put a lot of heat into the face during the shave with the hot towels, the hot lather and the friction of the razor. So now we're going to cool everything down with a cold towel. I like my cold towels to come straight from the fridge, so they're almost shockingly cold. Always warn the guy that it's going to be a cold one. This cold towel doesn't need to be on for too long, but again, I like to get the maximum benefit of the cold into the face by holding it onto the beard area. Now I'm going to finish with something that is very traditionally English. A splash of cologne. Now you don't want to put this on any areas that look inflamed, or probably the area you've shaved at all. So I'll put this on the forehead or on the back of the neck if he likes the scent but has a lot of irritation. And finally we're just going to use a dusting of talcum powder. This is going to make the skin feel wonderfully smooth and also dries the face and takes the shine off it, which makes for a very natural look. Most guys are not going to want to go out with a very shiny face. And that's pretty much the whole of the shave routine. You can compliment yourself, tell him just what a great shave that is, and invite him just to feel it himself. So it looks like Jason pretty much enjoyed that one, doesn't he?